Hey, I'm Charlie Stockwell from Stockwell Design and Stockwell Racing. We're here at Born Free this weekend supporting Harley-Davidson and the new Nightster project. The new Nightster's a pretty rad bike. You know, it's the direction that we need to go with the motor company. Our new demographic as well, they want something that is real usable. It's also got to comply with our new laws and regulations around the world, and you know they've hit it. They've nailed the new design. They've captured let's say the culture, the character, the soul, and the essence of the old Sportsters in design. The feel is a little bit different, but it's always going to be different. But we are going in the right direction with it. The new motor is rad. I mean, the power, you know, the way that the thing pulls off the line. Acceleration on the thing, real usable as well. You know, when we're around town, especially in London, the bike is rad. You know, you can use it in every type of condition. I mean, the stock Nightster, there's a lot that I would say that I favor on it. You know, it's the one thing that was apparent to me straight away was if you're a dude or a gal of 6'5", you're not going to get many gals at 6'5", but you know what I mean. Or you're 5'5", you fit on this bike, you know, and you don't look stupid being a bigger person. The seat allows you to shift your position back or forth. So I think we're gonna hit a lot more people, a lot more customers with this machine than, let's say, the Sportsters of the past. The functions are great as well. I think a lot of the people nowadays, they want to be able to hook up their phones for the bikes. They want a lot of these mode settings as well. So across the Sportster range, including Pan America as well, you know, people are addicted to tech nowadays. And these new Sportsters and the Pan America, they give us that. So I guess with a lot of the bikes that I build, and you probably know it more than most, is that I try to get an influence of performance, or call it, you know, MotoGP racing, into a lot of my designs. So you've got the function as well as the rad looks of some of the suspension components I use, the braking components, and an all-round performance. So I've always tried to add that in there. I guess you could say that, you know, Roland Sands was kind of the first to do that back in the early 2000s, and I've always been a big admirer of him. And I, you know, with my history in racing as well, I've tried to adapt my custom style, you know, when I can, to add a lot of performance, and you know, some of that is apparent on the new Nightster I built as well. So the challenges, there was challenges all over. I mean, the fact that because of Brexit, my bike arrived probably 3 or 4 weeks later than everyone else's. I had to change the design pretty soon. I heard that Brandon from Speed Merchant was doing a flat track bike, and I knew that if we both built flat tracks, they were going to be identical. So I switched designs to kind of tracker, cafe racer early on. Gave myself an upward task in trying to pull that design together, but we was under embargo, so I couldn't tell anyone I was building the bike. I couldn't ask for assistance. I couldn't show anybody. No parts were available. I was building it at home in my parking lot, so I didn't even have a workshop. I had my race toolbox, the necessary tools for racing, so no machinery. I didn't even have a drill press. So I was totally underprepared for the task that I had accepted from Harley. So it's kind of winging it on the spot each time I had to work on the bike, and you know, I was using hacksaws and hand tools to make everything. The guys at S&S really helped me out with the exhaust system. 3D printed me some rear sets as well, and the intake cover. Without those guys, I would have really struggled. But so there was challenges throughout. I mean, even to the point where we finished with 10-15 minutes to go before we load it on the truck to get it back to the shipping yard to get it here. And, you know, I strung the project out. So it's but it's us custom builders, we work around this. You know, this is not anything new to us. But, you know, it was probably a little bit of unorganization on my part that gave me the biggest challenge. But I think overall the bike looks pretty cool. I would love to say that I'm most proud of some of the parts that I made myself on the bike, but I got to say the exhaust system that Hunter Klee made for me at S&S, I had to lie to him. I couldn't tell him that I was building a Nightster. I told him that I was going to go and race a Sportster S in the Bagger Racing League, and to build me a one-off 2-into-1 system for that. And he was curious as to why I wanted like the intake into the muffler kind of like dog-legged, a kink in there. I needed it to fit around the fuel tank under the seat. And he was like, dude, you're going to scrape that in the corners. And I'm like, man, just build it to my spec and it would be cool. So, but if you look at the system now, you would think he had the bike there, you know, up at S&S. I was stoked with the way that the pipe flowed and how it fit. The rear sets as well. Epic work by Hunter and the guys at SNS. So, like I said before, they really helped out. So I'm more proud of the work he did for me than the work I did for myself, I think. So the other Nightsters, I was pretty confident that my bike would come out on top. I was told frequently by the guys at HD that it's not a competition. But I was blown away by the other bikes. I mean, my pick of the bunch would be Hide's bike from Japan. I wasn't expecting such epic work, and I knew that he was going for a kind of flat track flavor with his, but I wasn't expecting what he produced. But everyone pulled it off. And the good thing is that we've all built very different machines. So with Jody and like Perowitz, to see her and to get some paint on the bike from such an epic family that are so famous in our industry, that was cool. You got the guy from China, and I apologize for not knowing his name, built a totally different machine to everyone else. Brandon's bike from Speed Merchant, it was always going to be cool. Thunderbike pulled off an epic build that represents them. So I think everyone did a great job for the motor company and for themselves. So when Harley approached me back at the end of 2021, I was stoked that they wanted to invite me into another project to do for them. Finding out that it was going to be the new Nightster was even better. And as a lifelong Harley fan, I've worked with the brand for 26 years. To still be involved in some of their secret projects was epic for me. Real proud that my name still sticks in their head and they feel like I'm worthy to work with them. So thank you, Harley-Davidson.